Hello again. Welcome back to the Flyin Style podcast. My name is Matt Mitchell, here with my co-host Stephen Masley.
Matthew!
And obviously, you can tell how excited we are to talk about the Eagles today after a nice 24-7 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. And we are now 2-0 on the season. So, Masley, let's start off with your thoughts. What do you think?
I am happy, Matthew. Super duper happy. I'm super glad I'm wrong. I'm super glad I saw the things I saw yesterday, and I love it. I love this team. If we play like the first half, every single game, I'm not going to say it, but we can go far somewhere to a bowl. But no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say it. But I like it. Let's jump right in.
Hey man, I'm feeling the same kind of way right now. I'm not gonna get quite on the same level as you. It's still week 2. I know how Philadelphia sports tend to go. I'm gonna take it slow, but I cannot deny that I've never been this excited about an Eagles team watching them. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Most exciting roster we've ever had, and they're clearly showing it after this week's win. So let's jump right into the offense. So I'm gonna jump in. So let's start with Jalen Hurts, obviously. MVP of the game. Jalen Hurts finished the game with 26 for 31 on 333 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns on 11 carries for 57 yards.
He did great. He did fantastic.
Yes, he did. 390 total yards and 3 total touchdowns. He looked like everything that we've wanted to see from him. I've told you a million times over, I've never lost faith in him. I've had faith in him the whole way. He answered the questions. He silenced the doubters. He did everything he needed to do. This was his statement game. He came out and did everything right. He came out and passed the ball precisely. He was running the ball at the right times, and he wasn't just running out of the pocket every play. He was sitting in the pocket, making throws, making good decisions. This is the improvement that we all wanted to see from Jalen Hurts, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Now, my favorite part, and you kind of touched on it, is him stepping up in the pocket. And not only stepping up and taking off when he needed to, but when he steps up in the pocket and makes those tough throws across the middle, that's what he needed to do. That's what an NFL quarterback has to be able to do here, and that's what people have been knocking him for so long. And you got, people are going to always hate on him. I don't know why.
Well, when it comes to running quarterbacks, you got to look back at history. Like, when have you ever seen a running quarterback ever win a Super Bowl? Can you name one? I'm just saying off of history.
New league, new era.
People tend to be a little bit less patient when it comes to running quarterbacks because it hasn't technically worked in the past, but the league is developing, it's changing. Oh, there's a ton of running quarterbacks, but either way, the place you see the most success, like you just said, is stepping up in the pocket and sitting in the pocket, being calm and throwing precise throws. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like seeing Jalen Hurts scramble out of the pocket and use his legs. It's awesome. I love that. But most of the production is going to come from that pocket.
I just don't understand the people that still don't like him, and they're always going to hate him, because I know this for a fact. They're always going to hate him because Lamar won MVP, and they're still criticizing him, and people still don't want him as a franchise quarterback. And there's nothing he could have done more than win the most valuable player that year. And I understand he didn't win a Super Bowl, and he didn't yet, and there hasn't been a pure running quarterback that won the Super Bowl yet.
It's a team game. It's a team game.
It is. And you can't, and it's a new era, and it is new. It develops. It develops just like everything in time. It develops. And I think there's no reason, because I know the Hurts haters are going to come out next week if he has a bad game. He's shown improvements, and I hope he doesn't have a bad game, but what did he do wrong? He's looked great, and there's nothing you can criticize him on right now. Nothing. He's not doing a lick thing wrong.
I agree. It's too early to make bold claims, but right now, if the season were to end today, only 2 games in, he's in the MVP race 100%. He's playing at an MVP caliber level right now. It's hard to say whether he's going to keep that up or not. I absolutely hope so. I don't see any reason why he cannot do so. Well, actually, one of the reasons I could see him not doing so is still him taking a lot of hits. He's still running the ball a lot. He's still taking some hits on the ground. He's still getting, there were a few plays that didn't really get too highly noticed because he was actually making great plays. So people just kind of missed it. But he got a lot of QB hits yesterday. And there were some that were really hard, but he was making poised throws in the pocket, standing in there, taking the hit and making the throws. So, it wasn't easy to notice, but he's still taking those hits. And it's very early in the season. It can wear on him. It is a long season. And that's one of the only things that worries me.
No, I do agree with that, but they mentioned it 1,000 times on the broadcast that he squats 600 pounds and he squatted 500 pounds in high school. That was the funniest thing I thought. He's a sturdy guy.
He's a strong man, but sorry, go ahead.
No, he just got it. If he can stay, he's a sturdy guy and he can take hits. I just don't want him to take dangerous ones. Obviously, put his body on the line, but he's built for that. That's what he can take this some hit. He can take a little hit.
I know he can take it. I'm not questioning his toughness. I'm just doesn't matter if you pull the toughest person in the world and put him out there. If they keep taking hits from NFL players as often as Jalen Hurts is at the moment, it's going to catch up to him. Whether it's this year or in a couple years or, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep adding up over and over and over again. He's just taking a lot of hits. He's handling it fine. It's not a big problem right now. He's just taking a lot of hits, and that's one of my few concerns with the team right now. But to cover up one of the concerns I had last week that I think we improved upon greatly was, first of all, spreading the ball. Spreading the ball was fantastic. Hurts did a great job getting the ball to everybody this game. Everybody got a piece. Dallas Goedert finished with 5 receptions for 82 yards. Devontae Smith finished with 7 for 80 yards. Quez Watkins finished with 2 receptions with 69 yards and a touchdown on that deep bomb. A.J. Brown finished with 5 receptions for 69 yards. Literally all of our targets pretty much ended in the same general group, all at a high level. And that's awesome to see.
I love that we're finally using Devonta Smith. I love we're finally using Goddard. I love seeing it all come together. That we're finally using our playmakers, and not that it doesn't always have to be like that, but I like to see it. If it's possible to be done, let's do it. Just spread the ball around, get it to everyone. And they ran. I don't like how they didn't run under center as much until they were just running clock away, but I can't critique it because Miles still played a great game, and I can't be mad. I can't be mad at this game. I can't be a lick mad.
I have a few qualms with the team still. There's still improvements being made. I'm not mad about anything, but because obviously this was a complete win. We dominated them from top to bottom, but there are a few spots that the Eagles absolutely have to improve upon. Like you said, running the ball over the middle. I'd love to see Jalen Hurts under center more often. Running the ball up the middle. I felt like every time I watched us do it, it worked out this game. I've been saying that I want to see Miles Sanders getting around 25 carries per game. And he did get a step up this game, but not as much as I wanted to see. He finished with 17 carries for 80 yards and finished with 4.7 yards per carry, which is another great stat line again. Any running back is averaging over 3.5 yards per carry is doing their job well. And Miles Sanders at almost no point in his career has averaged under 4. I still don't understand why he's not getting the ball more. There are still certain plays where we're, passing the ball on first down. Just run the ball. I just want to see us run. I think using it better this game. There was a point in the game in the third quarter I saw that our pass to rush ratio was 24 passes to 22 rushes, which is what I like to see. That's the balance that I love to see from the team. But with that balance, I want to see Miles Sanders getting more of those rushing touches rather than Jalen Hurts and Gainwell and Boston Scott. It's not like we can't use those guys. I just want to see Miles Sanders get his big role. I think he deserves it. I think he's earned it. I just want to see him getting more touches.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. And I just you can't knock them for using other personnel, but I do want to see him get more touches because he can be an every down back. It's just I can't knock them for using other guys, especially when they're not doing horrific. Like
I don't mean it.
Scott
Yeah,
did
I do not.
fine.
I do
mean,
not
they're
mean it as a
doing
knock.
fine. They're not like elite.
Yeah, I do not mean it as a knock by any means. I just want to see more of Miles Sanders.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mean, the flip side of the game, maybe the actual MVP. I mean, I know Hurts played great, but Darius Slay played like a king. A king. 2 picks, 5 pass deflections, held Jay Jets under 50 yards receiving.
It was
I
incredible.
love it.
It was debatably the best performance we've seen from an Eagles defensive player in the past, decade, maybe 2. He only finished with 2 interceptions, and I say only because he could have finished with 4 or 5. He had a few dropped interceptions. But he, like you said, he also finished with 5 pass deflections, held Justin Jefferson to under 50 yards. He was just incredible. And, I think that comes from, allowing Jonathan Gannon, allowing him to play to his comfortability. We got to see a lot more of Slay playing man coverage this game. But not just man, it was still a mix, obviously. We're still throwing different looks at him. But we saw a much more aggressive defensive scheme this game. And I think it was very obvious, watching the game, how much more aggressive it was than last week.
No, and to mention the aggression, blitzing made Kirk Cousins scared. And that's what we just need to do. I almost splooged in my pants when I saw the blitzing. It's great. Like, finally, we bring pressure.
I feel about the blitz.
It just like it.
I've been saying it for weeks, dude. I've been saying it for weeks.
I mean, you want to blitz every 3rd play.
It's not rocket science, dude. I mean, like, I don't want it that much, but like, dude, I mean, every single time we ran the blitz, we caused trouble. Every single time we ran it this game. And it looked great, and we were so happy to see it. But what is forgotten throughout the game is that like 90% of our blitzes came in the 4th quarter when the game was already out of reach. Like, it looked great and I loved it, but we still need to keep doing it more throughout the game. We ran a few blitzes during the beginning 3 quarters of the game, and it looked great when it did, but we only ran a few. Then we ran about like 5-6 blitzes at the end of the game, and we got to him every single time, and Cousins didn't know what to do about it. So I just want to see us doing it much more often.
No, I love it. And to be pessimistic, because we do have to take some bad things away from this game, is not. I mean, I love holding them to 0 points in the second half, but not us getting no points in the second half. I understand, like, we had a lead and we were trying to run the clock down. We weren't super aggressive with our play calling after the first half. And that's very valid. But if they block that if they return that field goal, they're only down 10 points. And that just made me scared because they were getting to the red zone very often. But we had the picks. We made the plays. And I can't complain that we made the plays on defense. But offensively, we didn't put them straight in a coffin. I know we were dominating the whole game. But I don't want to be overly aggressive because we didn't need to be. And people... Like, I would say maybe we would have had more aggressive play calling if they were to have scored a touchdown. But I do have to take away that we didn't score any. Our offense, we couldn't just bully them completely. I'm not saying it's a horrible thing, but our play calling did slow down at the end, which I didn't mind. It was fine taking away time, and I can't complain about it because we obviously were up 3 scores, 4 scores. 3 scores, yeah, but whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. There was a few things that bothered me with that. Like, I was not a fan of the way we managed the end of the first half. With the play calling, that's another thing that goes into the the aggression of the play calling. We had I think we were at the 7-yard line, so we had like a 93-yard field to run. We had about a minute and a half in the end of the first half, and we ran the ball in the first play, and that was okay. We ran the clock down to like 55 seconds, but then we ran the ball 2 more times down to about 30 seconds. And then at that point, we were at about midfield, and then we got 2 passes off, got the ball into scoring position and field goal range. You could see the urgency kick into gear, and then we got a field goal out of it. So my question while watching the game and after the game was, what was the point of that? Why did we get conservative and not go for the touchdown there? Because we had plenty of time. And I don't understand that. And like, even if you were, worried about giving the ball back to him, like, I don't know. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I did. I also agree with you. I didn't understand, because you're watching it together, obviously, but I didn't understand why he didn't either go just straight aggression or conservative. Like he like opened the bridge and closed it real quick, and he was like, under center, we're gonna run up Gainwell for 2 yards. And it's like, okay, he just wasted like 40 seconds. And then you don't use the timeout. Then you just want to pass it down the field. And then like you don't get a shot at the end zone. I mean, obviously we got points on the board right before half. That's always fantastic to see. But I was very confused. I didn't know, maybe they were not thinking they would get any of those plays to like get converted, but like take those shots. I mean, if you get 2 shots at the end zone and be able to kick a field goal, like if we did have time on the clock, which we could have done, you got to keep the pedal going when your offense has that momentum. And like that, like just keep it going. Just keep pushing until they're dead. Beat them. Like,
no, I mean,
you have to. And
a little aggressive, but I agree with that.
No. You saw teams not beat them to death, like the Ravens, and they lost. That's what happened.
I get your point, and I completely agree. I don't know why we kept taking the pedal off the metal in both halves. Like you said, it just seemed like you could see the drastic changes in aggression throughout the game, depending on the game flow. And that's something that I want to see change. There's no reason to take your pedal off your foot off the gas. I don't know why we did it at all. I think that by all means, we could have completely run away with that game with the way we played. And I think we kind of chose not to. It was only 24-7. But I think to everyone watching that game can definitively say that we whooped them. It was an absolute massacre. The entire game we were dominating through and through. But it's only a 3-score game. So I agree. Yeah. I think that we were far too conservative in the second half. But at the same time, it doesn't worry me because although we didn't score any points, we still dominated that half. So that's something that doesn't completely concern me. I think that Sirianni and the coaching staff kind of plays to the game flow like a little bit too much sometimes. But it's like we've said, it's hard to hate on what we've seen from them. They made a lot of the adjustments we wanted to see from week 1 to week 2. We walked in and we blitzed the quarterback. Got to him. Kirk Cousins only finished with 221 yards and a 17.5 QB rating. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the league, right? Top 3, probably. Looking at what we did against Detroit last week and giving up probably, almost 200 rushing yards. This week we come in, give up 6 carries for 17 yards on 2.8 per carry to Dalvin Cook. Incredible. Great job. That is exactly what we had to do. We had to take Dalvin Cook out of the game and make Kirk Cousins beat us. Great job with that, And then you get their best guy and you lock him down with your best guy. Get JJ on Darius Slay. You've got safety help over there with Gardner Johnson. It was great. And then you've got the other guy covered by James Bradbury, who I really, really want to mention. He is my key sleeper to this game. Because how often did you hear his name? There's only one position on the field where that is important. There's only one position on the field where you don't want to hear their name called all day, and it's cornerback, because that means they're doing their job. A quick stat that I wanted to point out.
Fantastic.
A quick stat that I wanted to point out about him is that James Bradbury and Darius Slay are both in the top 5 in lowest passer ratings allowed in the NFL. Who do you think's first? Who do you think's ahead of the other?
First?
Like not first, but between Bradbury and Slay, who do you think's ahead of the other?
Well, it's not Ramsey because he did a bad week 1.
No. So ignore the other guys. Ignore the other guys. Just between Bradbury and Slay, who do you think should be higher on the list?
It's no way he's high. No way Bradbury's higher than Slay on that list.
Bradbury is at number 3 in the NFL in lowest passer rating allowed, with a 7.0 passer rating allowed to his side. Darius Slay
that is crazy.
At number 5 with a 25.2 passer rating allowed to his side.
Wow.
Now, granted to that
to
stat,
be fair,
Bradbury is going to be covering the number 2 and Slay's going to be covering the number 1. But when is the last time you could say the Eagles have had 2 corners with that kind of coverage ability?
I literally didn't believe it. Like, I don't believe it. I thought you were going to name another elite corner. That I thought Bradbury was 100% lower, and there's a corner in between. But that's crazy.
Number 3 in the NFL.
Insane. That's a great stat.
Allowed.
That's a fantastic stat.
Dude, it's great. I love it. And they both look incredible. And it just you can sit there. This is the first time, the reason we get so frustrated with the Eagles defense is because they have always played a soft zone where they let themselves get picked apart. They don't run enough blitzes because they never have the guys that can cover in the back. This is the year that all changes. We've got the blitz personnel. We've got the coverage to play man. We've got the safety help to cover over top. It's the complete package to let us get after the quarterback and play tough defense on them. And I love it because that just is a brand of Philadelphia to be tough and aggressive. And we can finally live up to that role in our defense.
So building off that, what are your expectations for the rest of the season? What do you want to what are they too high now? Because I hear on Sports Talk Radio they're planning a parade Saturday. Like people are I don't like that. It's only week 2.
Listen, that was to be assumed with Eagles fans. We knew that was coming. Based off of the way people are talking about Jalen Hurts today. Think about the fact that they, people were writing him off about a month and a half ago. Eagles fans are always all over the place. I love
Eagles
them,
fans, but I
hate them. I love everybody. It's a fun place to be around. It's always exciting. You never know what we're feeling. But here's what I'm going to say to Eagles fans: slow your roll. It is week 2. There are going to be moments where we're not going to look great. Every team goes through it. I hope that we can keep up this kind of play every week. It would be incredible. And I think that they're very poised to do so. I came out and said my prediction for this season. They had potential to be 13-4, and I stand by it to this moment. Right now, after 2 games, I think they look like the best team in the NFC. But it's week 2. Slow your roll.
Things change. Yeah.
Things change.
Everyone got to calm down.
Team gets filmed.
There's a lot of adversity to be faced in a long season.
Exactly, dude. How about you? What do you think?
Anytime, any given Sunday, someone could get injured. This person could go down. It's a long season, and it happens to everyone. And it's scary. We gotta just embrace. We can be happy. I just want to be happy without people giving us Super Bowl expectations right away. You know what I mean? I want to be happy, put a smile on my face, but then I have to hear, Bills versus Eagles Super Bowl. Bills no, this it's week 2. Yeah, right now it looks
slow down. Things are going to change.
Calm down. We're gonna we got to keep going. We got to keep our head down. We can't already have these we're better than every team, because we're not. We have to prove it. We could be 2-15 for all I know. We only won 2 games. Next game's week 3. We're going against Carson Wentz. I know we're not going to get into it too much into this episode, but that's going to be a fun episode.
It'll be a fun one, that's for sure. It'll be a fun one.
Seeing Carson.
But with all that being said, we're loving the way the Eagles look. Everything looks great. They played damn near perfect yesterday. Exceeded everyone's expectations. But with expectations, we gotta be realistic. Like I said, things are gonna change. Injuries are gonna happen. Changes are gonna be made to other teams. A lot is going to happen during this season. We don't know yet, but like we've said, I think we have all the reason to be excited this year, and let's not slow it down. We've got all the momentum in the world right now.
We do, and we have the personnel for it. I love it. I'm happy.
Yes,
I'm
we do.
gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy.
Yes, we
That's
do.
all I'm gonna be.
All right, so moving on to our next thing here,
All right.
we're gonna talk about our picks for the week. We're gonna go over our picks for this past Sunday, and
Do you
we're
want to
gonna
talk
go
about your
over our
picks?
picks for Thursday night. Do I want to talk about my picks? Not particularly. I'm off to a horrific start to the season.
I mean, I don't want to talk. I'm not very happy either.
Another, I got the backdoor cover for the Chargers, but then another 0-3 Sunday afternoon. So I am now at 2-6, I believe. Yes, 2-6.
3. Yeah, Bills. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna start. I'm not doing too hot either. I think I'm 4
got
and
both
4.
Thursday night games wrong. I mean, both Thursday night games right, and three on Sundays wrong both weeks. So
Oh wow.
we'll
I had a
get
1 and
this
2
we'll get
Sunday,
this
and
figured
I'm
out.
4 and
Don't
4.
fret yet.
Guys, take
Don't
a
fret
Thursday
yet.
pick and fade all his other ones. It's basically what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So this Thursday, it's the Steelers versus the Browns in Cleveland. The line is 4.5. Who do you have, Matthew Mitchell?
Well, I think that Cleveland, after last week, obviously I don't think they're a bad team, but Cleveland will be Cleveland. And, I think that the Steelers tend to just always be good, no matter how bad their team is. I didn't look at them going into the season as a good team, but for some reason, I think they're still going to finish with 9-10 wins and be in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Steelers in this game. I'm going with
I'm going to lay the points
hope
of the
for a
Browns.
possible backdoor cover. Again, we'll see.
I'm laying the points of the Browns. I think TJ Watt being out is a little too much for the Steelers. Again, I mean, they had a really close game with the Patriots, but it's hard to beat them in Foxborough against Belichick. I think the Browns should have won last game. That was ridiculous.
No kidding.
2 touchdowns with 2 minutes left. You blow
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's crazy. I don't think the Browns are really a great team, but screw it. I'll take the opposite side of that.
All right, cool. We got a little head-to-head going this Thursday. But all right,
I like it.
Well, there's our picks for Thursday Night Football. We'll have more coming your way come next episode for the next game preview. And yeah, man, it's an exciting year. I'm almost speechless right now. I've had jitters since last night just getting ready for this episode. I love it. I love it.
Dude, I've been wearing this hat all day, stroking it. I love it. I love the Eagles and I love the Birds. And I like a win like that. I like the win against a team that I'm scared to lose. I love it. Can I be happy, man? Let me be happy.
I'll let you be happy. I think we've earned it. Everybody's earned it. It's Victory Tuesday for a reason, brother. But all right, man.
I don't have to look toward the future right now.
Yeah. All right, man.
I don't have to look to the future right now. I just want to be happy that we're 2-0. All right.
All right. My name is Matt Mitchell, and I'm here with Stephen Masley once again. And this has been the Flyin' Style podcast, and we will see you later this week. Thank you very much.